Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 219 of the Terminal City FC podcast, part of the Area 51 Sports Network. Josh very joined alongside Nathan Dirk as per usual. Sorry for the late episode this week. I've been sick the past couple days. There's been kind of minor flu. I think it's been going around for quite some time.
Yeah.
I still sound a little weird, but that's why. So a lot of stuff has happened in Whitecaps land. Last week, Axel Schuster gave more comments about this situation regarding the stadium and all that. And he did reveal quite a bunch of telling things. Also, did say a whole lot of nothing. But the main takeaway is that the team is lacking in revenue, and they are $40 million Canadian away from the league average.
Yeah. It's kind of tough because that $40 million number, a lot of people had a bit of an issue with, because if you're wanting absolute numbers, we want to know what's the deficit. What's the deficit that you have as a club? We don't want to know what it is to the league average. That's an abstract number. It's constantly changing. How liquid are you by yourself in your market? And we didn't get that answer, which is kind of frustrating.
Yeah,
what we did get was the fact that there is a deal for this year with BC Place. Essentially, BC Place will collect enough of the money until they hit a net zero balance. Everything beyond that will go to the Whitecaps, which is estimated at around $1.5 million.
Yes. And Whitecaps were also valued at 29th in Sportico's MLS value rankings, again, just above CF Montreal. So
which is the same as last year.
Which, given what Axel said, is not surprising at all. And he said, for things to, be better, we need to take 25 to 30 small steps or something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's not surprising. And if you can do that, if you can take like this big kind of monumental thing and break it down into small steps, it starts to look more manageable. So I'm hoping that it does on their side. I mean, what those steps are, we don't know. Obviously, getting the MOU was one of them. The negotiations with the city as a result of that, that's another one. Getting this 1-year deal, I don't know, maybe we call that a half step because it's not a full bridge deal yet. There's still a long way to go. And let me put it this way. They are working at trying to get something done and trying to keep the team here. But that doesn't exclude the fact that the last kind of 2 weeks from a PR perspective were not great from the Whitecaps.
No, not at all.
Both of these press conferences did not need to happen.
Both the statement and these press conferences caused more confusion than clarity.
When we have an individual that is more than happy to talk to us, which is great, but extols the virtues of transparency, and then you're left kind of trying to parse exactly what he said, and you're not entirely sure what was said. Because the thing is we were told in the second press conference, it seems like there's some misunderstanding over what we just said. I'm like, it's not misunderstanding because we all took it the same way. It's the message. The message was not communicated properly.
Yeah, and too bad there wasn't enough time to go into specifics about what Axel said about last in revenue. Mm-hmm. That's one of those things that
I want to know the numbers. I hate to say it. Look, and I get it. You're not opening up your books and whatnot, but if you're going to tell us that you are something, I want to know the difference. Because just telling us that you're last, what does that tell me? It doesn't really tell me much.
Okay,
you might be last, but still making gobs of money. Or you might be last and completely destitute. I don't know.
Yeah, like, what does that mean? Like, revenue as in what?
And that's exactly why the 40 million number doesn't really mean much to me. I don't want, yes, I know you're trying to keep up with your counterparts, but I want to know where you are now just by yourself. Worry about yourself and then worry about trying to get to where everyone else is. Take care of yourself first.
Yeah, and it goes to show how dire things still are, and the team still is in danger, moving sadly, but of course things can change any minute.
Yeah. I mean, the difference was the first press conference was, our hair's on fire. The second press conference was not on fire yet, but it might be smoldering.
Yeah. uh, it's it's still on fire. And Schuster did say something interesting, like that none of the money goes into the pockets of the owners. None of it.
I'm not surprised with that. I mean, anytime you have something like this, unless the owners are taking dividends, then it's all being reinvested. So I'm not surprised with that. There was also a really interesting article. If you get a chance, check it out by the Third Sub yesterday, where they take a look at kind of like the Whitecaps player transfer philosophy and how they've done in terms of what the players they bring in and move out, and how that's kind of a money generating business side as well, right? Like they've done actually quite well in terms of player transfers. And I mean, you don't have to look much further than like kind of your most recent with Ali Ahmed, Pedro Vite as a part of that as well.
Right. And he also mentioned that the ownership, if they were in front of the cameras, nothing would change because it would be the exact same thing he is saying.
Yeah. The one thing that worried me is when we're now 13 months, 14 months into the club being for sale or looking for a new investor. Axel said they've had about 100 entities express interest. Of that, about 30-ish went to the next stage where they signed NDAs, they opened up the books, everyone got to take a look and decide whether or not this is a value investment. No one has moved beyond that stage.
Yeah, that is still very concerning.
Yeah.
And there was also more communication where it was assumed the Whitecaps initially turned down the BC Place deal. And then Axel Schuster said, no, they didn't turn anything down.
And again, that goes to that lack of a clear message.
Yeah, and then the BC Minister of Jobs and Economic Growth, Ravi Kanlon, says it was initially turned down.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that the government actually put out messages. I mean, it wasn't just the minister, even David Eby was on a talk show and was talking about it, which I think it's very rare to get that. I mean, first of all, yes, it's a public amenity. BC Place is government owned, so obviously the minister, it makes sense. But the fact that it was them and not spokespeople or not Pavco, it was actually like people within government, elected officials, that started talking about this, kind of like, no, we kind of need to wave our finger and admonish you a little bit. There is something on the table. That was surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to hear from like these top officials, though.
Yeah, I've got no problem with that. I mean, it forced clarity for us.
Yeah, but the whole thing was a communication / PR mess. And now the Whitecaps headed to the 2026 season with so much uncertainty. We'll do more of an in-depth preview of the season next week. Can you believe actually Champions Cup for the Whitecaps starts next week, and then next Saturday is the actual MLS opener
with RSL.
Yep. Both of us got approved for our credentials, so we'll be at the grounds this season as well. So more top-notch coverage for you guys. So the Whitecaps
jersey unveiled.
Yeah. And apparently the coastal jersey, as it's called, it had like the biggest turnout for like launch sales for a jersey ever.
I mean, it probably also helps that the jersey's like over $250.
Especially with a name and number again. That's just about the amount of it as a not Adidas, like an authentic Fanatics NHL jersey.
I know. I understand that pricing for MLS shirts are probably done through MLS. I don't think the Whitecaps probably get a whole lot of say on pricing, because I mean, I've got shirts from other teams. That's the way it is. But that
I bought Chelsea shirts for like 150.
That's exactly it. Like I've Premier League shirts in terms of price are more comparable to CPL shirts in terms of price, and MLS is like $100 beyond that.
Yeah. So yeah, the new kit, the coastal kit. The collar is what makes it stand out.
Yep.
I think it looks
And
fine,
the
but
cuffs.
I feel like they could have done more with the actual shirt. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad kit.
I
And I
love
think
simplicity. I love simplicity, and the
I do
fact
too.
that it is a solid uniform color, I really like. I'm very, very happy that they're not going to like the actual like collar, like the flip collar that you see on a lot of soccer kit. I hate
Yep.
that look. I actually really like this kit. I
starting
think
to grow on
it's a
me.
win.
I kind of wish they added a little more design to like the actual shirt itself. Maybe add some waves or whatever. Make it a little more unique. But
Okay, I can concede that point. I get
you
what
know
you're
what?
saying.
It's simple. And I
Yep.
said that it'll grow on me. It's starting to, and I think I really need to see this kit in person to really judge it.
Yeah.
I think my big issue with it is the stripes on the shoulders. Like they're too big.
I'm okay. I don't mind it. I guess whenever I see the three stripes, I instantly go to Adidas, and obviously it's an Adidas
Yeah, it's
shirt.
Adidas.
So, or a kit. So I guess I'm not too worried about it. It's tough to get away from that. That's just what you're going to get with Adidas.
I like the Vancouver at the back here.
Yeah,
And
it's
the Maple
nice.
Leaf.
I'm happy that the badge is where it's supposed to be.
Yes, the Whitecaps never had this issue where they put the badge in the middle. So thank God.
So,
but at the same time, it does feel like a kind of a downgrade from the 50 kit back here.
The 50 kit was unique. The 50 kit was just absolutely neat.
You know what? I'm starting to like this new Coastal kit. I'll say
I will say,
I look at it.
I did a ranking that's going to be coming out with Negs News and the boys in Los Angeles that cover the Galaxy, ranking for them of the different kits that came out there. There are some really good kits this year. Actually, I was a big fan of Cincinnati's, but there's also some that are just
weird or
bad. Again, there's a few that got the badge in the center. The collar I hate. I don't know what's going on with FC Toronto, but it kind of looks like a baseball shirt that a little kid would wear in the 70s, and not in a good way.
Let's bring up
some of the Montreal. I thought was
Montreal's looks nice.
Okay, I liked it, but yeah, I gotta say I don't know what it was, but Cincinnati for me was a good one.
Yeah.
So one of the more polarizing ones this year seems to be Atlanta.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm kind of, for me, it was a little middle of the road. But from what I can see, people either absolutely love it or absolutely hate it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Toronto's looks kind of. Looks fine, but Seattle's. I like the green.
I don't mind it. I wasn't a big fan of Portland's, and it's mainly just because there's no contrast to it. You look at everything on the kit, and it's basically the same color.
Like, what's with the stripes?
I don't mind it. My problem is that Dallas always looks like the Revs, and the Revs always look like Dallas.
Oh, yeah, because the colors are similar.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind the stripes like that. It's all right. Chicago,
the Rebel one seems to be very divisive.
Chicago and Charlotte were a bit of a miss for me this year, and Austin again, the very pale pastel-y thing was.
I noticed that's a theme this year.
Yeah.
The pale. Yeah, people are doing their own tier lists.
Yeah, there's a few
kids.
It seems in general, I would say the Coastal kit's being well received.
Yeah, but for Whitecaps fans, a lot of people are not the only one, not just me, like saying, yeah, it could have been more, but I'm starting to like it.
Yeah. I like simplicity. I mean, I go back to my other team in England, Spurs. One of my favorite kits ever was the one where it was just the solid, the dark blue, where it's almost black, and just the badge and the sponsor, and that was it.
Yeah, simplicity.
Yeah,
At least the Whitecaps did move the badges in the middle, which would have drove us crazy.
That or like the kits that don't even have the badge, and it just has like the name of the city that they did that one year in England.
Oh yeah, like at least Puma is not designing MLS kits.
Yeah, that's true.
And yeah, so Whitecaps also have announced 3,200 new season tickets. So it looks like Axel Schuster's getting a bit of his steps
And the home match, last I saw, had at least 21,000 tickets.
Yep, we were told that as well.
Yeah. So good news for the first match. Good news heading in. Who knows? Maybe we've covered 2 or 3 of those little steps now.
Yeah. Step 1, step 2, done. And Thomas Muller's jersey is available worldwide, and there's been a lot of complaints in the playoffs that the Muller jersey ran out. That's on Adidas and MLS, not so much the Whitecaps.
Yeah.
Because of supplies and all that. So if you want a Muller jersey, you can order it online now, though it's going to cost you.
There you go. MLS has come out with updated roster rules for the 2026 season. It increases the senior salary budget to just under $7 million US. It also kind of codifies the 2 paths that were kind of brought in last year, where you can either have 3 designated players plus 3 U22 initiative players, or 2 DPs plus 4 U22 initiative players plus $2 million in GAM. So those have been kind of codified.
The Whitecaps now use the latter.
Yeah. Interesting thing is the U22 initiatives. I think you can sign for up to like 300 or 350, but they're only going to count between 150 to 200K against your cap. So there's a bit of a benefit there as well.
Increased too to 6,942,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it didn't break the 7 mark, because it's been hovering.
Next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, next year it's going to be an interesting year. Given
when we do the season change, yeah.
Yes, those are the MLS roster changes, and of course for casuals, they're going to continue to be more confusing. Not just casuals. Everybody.
Yeah.
Pretty much, except Glenn Thompson. The Whitecaps continuing the 3 DP, 3 U22 model. The other Vancouver team is also back in preseason training, and they have made a signing, Mia Ponte, on a season-long loan from AS Roma. 15 appearances, 2 assists in 5 Champions League matches with Roma.
And she's actually a product of the Whitecaps Girls Elite Academy before she went to
Canadian Youth International too, and she comes back home basically.
So it's a season-long loan. I'm not too sure if there's a purchase option or not, but this should also allow Mia to get game time that she's looking. This is the second loan that the Rise have now signed, because they have the one player that they brought in from the NWSL as well.
Yeah.
They also released their schedule coming up. So their season is going to start in April. I believe that there is 13 home matches, 12 away matches, and that will be the beginning of their season as well. So that is up online as well.
Yep, let's bring up the schedule here. Yep. So April 24th is the first game against AFC Toronto. That's a home game, I believe. A bunch of home games throughout. And can't wait to be back at Swangard for this season and cover the Vancouver Rise as they chase a title defense.
With the Rise, it almost feels a little bit like a new team, just because they lost
so many players have left. So many
key players. Jasmine Spencer, we talked about. Samantha Chang, obviously. Lisa Pechersky. Some big players that had big involvement in what they were able to accomplish last year. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can get done this year.
Yeah. So, big news for Canada soccer. The Canadian soccer business has changed its name to the Canadian Soccer Media and Entertainment. Have announced a new long-term deal with Canada Soccer after a couple of years of beef and uncertainty.
The name change is neither here nor there. I mean, if they want to do that, fine. I mean, I guess, CPL just came out with a new logo, so I guess they had to follow suit in some fashion. The deal is interesting. I think it's really, really good. It runs through to 2037. So if you remember, the initial deal was a 10-year deal, and we didn't even get to the end of that. We got 7 or 8 years in. So the fact that they're able to get a deal that's longer, I think, and I'm speculating here, but I imagine Kevin Blue was pivotal in this.
Oh, he definitely was.
Because he wasn't around for the first one. I think this is really big. Promises greater exposure for the men and women's national teams in terms of broadcast distribution. It promises equitable exposure for both teams. It has 3-year check-ins into the deal.
Yeah, to see if it's working.
You can take a look. It's not just that you're held until 2037. It allows them to revisit elements of this deal as they go forward, give it a bit more of kind of an organic document kind of feel, which is a good thing. Also has 2 payments of $19.5 million to Canada Soccer and makes adjustments to the revenue sharing split, 70%, which is going to go to Canada Soccer. So in terms of growth, that's huge.
Yeah. Revenues will be invested into senior and youth national programs, coaching, grassroots soccer, and all that. That's also huge. Wide broadcast distribution, also huge. So this is a big win for Canada Soccer and now the CSME in terms of revenue. Oh, yeah, and CPL, like owners, that also includes them. And I believe One Soccer has also got NWSL rights.
They do. Yeah, they do. That was announced actually a few days previous, maybe not quite a week ago.
Yeah. Very good for Canada Soccer here. And speaking of them, the men's national team, their final World Cup warm-up match has been announced June 5th against the Republic of Ireland in Montreal. Ireland are in the playoff position, and they potentially could be a World Cup team.
Yeah. So there's now 4 warm-up matches. All of them are going to take place in Canada, which is nice. Edmonton, a couple in Toronto, and then now Montreal. Unfortunately, no games in Vancouver. But
Vancouver kind of makes sense because they're actually
they're a host city. You just can't do it. The building shut down. But then again, so is Toronto. So
yeah, I mean, they don't really have. I don't know. I guess BC Place is a lot harder to change and all that.
Yeah, who knows?
Some might complain, why aren't we getting bigger opponents and all that? But you know what? These are opponents that are more or less near Canada's level or slightly below. And Ireland have been a team
is the opponents that Canada is going. They're trying to look at opponents also from different confederations around the world to try themselves against different playing styles. Canada did this against when they were against or playing in Qatar as well, where they tried to find like teams to the ones that they were going to be playing in the group stage, right?
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily looking for the biggest and best teams out there to play against. You're looking for comparable teams to play against.
Ireland, in some ways,
it's playing styles.
Yeah, which is good to have. And
absolutely,
FIFA has approved the switch from Marcelo Flores from Mexico to Canada. So Marcelo Flores is officially a Canadian player. And also big news out of Belgium for Canadians. The Belgian Cup final will take place between Promise David's USG and Nathan Saliba's Anderlecht.
Very cool. Saliba also, I think, just last weekend had a goal as well.
Yeah, and then day after, Promise David scored.
Yeah.
In the same tournament. So
Canadians
good on for
Belgium doing all right.
Yep. So speaking of Europe, let's move over there. Chelsea, 3-1 win first over Wolves. Cole Palmer with a hat-trick in the first half. And apparently he has made history as he has the most hat-tricks in Chelsea history now.
Really?
Which is absolutely crazy given who else has played for Chelsea and scored hat tricks.
Didier
Uh,
Drogba.
Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard. That's crazy, and he has more Premier League hat tricks than Phil Foden and Bukayo Saka, and scored first half hat tricks in 3 consecutive seasons,
Wow.
which is absolutely crazy. And it only took 29 minutes for him to do this, which is insane. Oh yeah, 2 of them were penalties, but they were perfectly placed. One was open play, and
He had penalties in his hat trick, so it was a Harry Kane hat trick. I see.
Yeah, in a way. And
I can say
Pedro
that.
has become has learned from Cucurella to become a rage baiter, because for whatever reason, whenever he's in the box, the opponents push him. So that's why.
You know what? It's nice to have one guy like that on your team. You love him on your team. You absolutely hate if he's not. You know, it's the Richie Larea on Canada's team.
So Chelsea have 2: Marc Cucurella and now João Pedro. And speaking of João Pedro, he continues to be great. In the second half, the kind of sluggish Wolves to get one back, but a win was a win, and it's Wolves. It would have been embarrassing to drop points to them anyway. But a few days ago, this wasn't good, but it started off well. João Pedro on the rush, he scores again. This guy under Liam Senior, it feels like he's been unlocked. And he's been shooting more, taking on players more.
And Senior's done well so far.
Yeah. João Pedro has 18 goal contributions in all competitions this season. That leads all Chelsea players.
Yeah.
And he has scored 10 league goals this season, which matches his total from last season with Brighton. That's pretty good. And him and Hugo Ekitike, they both have a comparable goals per 90 rating. So both of them have been 2 good signings. Like this guy under Senior has, I don't know, yeah, it really has been a revelation. Because under Maresca, no disrespect to Maresca, he tried to be like more of a player that takes on defenders and not shoot. This time it's both. 4 goals, 1 assist, and 3 penalties drawn for João Pedro under Liam Senior in the Premier League.
Wow.
That's pretty good. And then he draws the penalty again. He gets pushed in the box again. And then Cole Palmer scores. But Chelsea were up 2-0 in the second half, and then they blew it. This one was just very poor from Moises Caicedo. Cheap penalty to give away. Clear penalty. Just trips the guy. And then the second goal, Josh Achimpong and Trevor Chalobah. Poor defending. It's like when you're playing FIFA and you just can't get the ball for some reason, no matter how many buttons you press. That's what that goal felt like. It's really frustrating to give up a 2-0 halftime lead to Leeds.
Yeah.
Given, Chelsea haven't beat Leeds this season as they lost to them in December. Cole Palmer had a glorious chance to win it, like at the death, but he skied it over the bar. Has to be better there. It's a shame. Caicedo has had better games, and the defenders, I've said it time and time again, not good enough. Get another defender, please. And Chelsea play in the FA Cup Hull City today. That's Liam Senior's old team, which he managed before he went to Strasbourg. And hopefully they get another win today. And then in the league next week, it's home to Burnley. And the big news out of the women's side, Paul Green, head of women's football, has left Chelsea after 13 years. Mm-hmm. And many, obviously, who are Chelsea women's players and staff are not happy with this.
Well, I mean, 13 years. You think of how well the women's team for Chelsea has been.
Yep.
That's a guy that's basically part of the furniture.
Yeah, that's the guy who's helped build this thing.
Yeah.
And now he's gone. I don't know if he chose to leave or it felt like it was mutual or he just got the boot and they said see ya. It goes to show how Clear Lake and company have kind of ruined this club. First, it was the academy uh, heads like Neil Baff and that other guy last year. They're gone, and now Paul Green has left Chelsea. Who's going to replace him? One of Joe Shields' friends? Because that's the way things have been. Because the academy is run by Joel Shields' friends from his time at Kinetic Academy or whatever it's called, or coaches who were with him at Southampton or Man City. Yeah, it feels like Chelsea have been run by nepotism since Clear Lake and Luco took over. Yeah. So Tottenham, things are spiraling in a relegation role, and Thomas Frank is gone.
Yeah. So, man, where do we start? 2 losses: Man United, Newcastle. I don't really know what else to tell you. Man United, writing was on the wall, and basically a bit of a horse-show week for Cristiano Romero. Calls out, the higher ups in terms of transfer policies, and then ends up with a red card at 29 minutes into the match. Keeps his captaincy, but the writing is on the wall. It does seem like his time might be done with Spurs.
Yep.
And also who might be leaving alongside him is Mickey Van de Ven, which is your 1-2 punch in terms of center backs. So that's
a big blow. And the guy who could actually score goals.
Yeah, and not only that, but as center backs, I think they're 2 and 3 in terms of goals on the team this year, which is not good either. Odegaard joins a long list of injured players after the Newcastle match. He did go in for surgery for his ACL. He's done for the season. Again, just one of those innocuous injuries where he jarred his knee trying to switch gears. Like, it wasn't anyone hitting him or anything like that, which was unfortunate. We've also now received confirmation that Dan Kulishevsky will not play at all this year. He's gone back in for another reassessment on his knee for the injury that he suffered late last season. So that's a big one. Put it in perspective. If you take a look at Spurs' last 50 league matches, they have produced the club's lowest 50-game points haul since 2013-2015.
Yeah.
This is their worst run, 50-game run, in over 100 years. Like, dang. Where they're sitting right now, they're sitting 5 points above the relegation table. Honestly, it could have been 3 if it wasn't for a late last gasp goal in another game. And obviously now it's led to Thomas Frank.
He just wasn't the guy.
No, he came in
football. What is this?
When he came in, it was considered shrewd. It was considered a good pickup for everything he'd done at Brentford. It was considered smart.
Yeah.
We never got that Thomas Frank. Yeah, we never got that defensive stability that we were expected. Igor Tudor, earlier today, was just announced as the interim. Tudor, he's been out of a job since October of last year, most recently with Juventus. But he has had time with, I believe, Marseille, Udinese, a few other teams as well. Hijack Split in Croatia. But he is considered a guy who can get an immediate bounce. He's done that with other clubs where he gets
that with Juventus.
And that's right now, as an interim, that's what they need.
That's all they need, actually.
He's not going to be the guy for moving forward. Obviously, there's been a few names that have been thrown around. De Zerbi, obviously, who just left Marseille, is a name that's been thrown around, although De Zerbi has come out saying that he wants to take some time off. The other name being thrown around, and the reason why they may have an interim, is Pochettino.
Yep.
Bring back the guy that, had you finished second, third in the league, that brought you to the Champions Cup final. He is the name right now on everyone's lips. Obviously, he's got a job with the Americans heading into the World Cup. Nothing's going to happen until, the Americans bow out of that tournament, and then we'll have to wait and see. It has been rumored that if they try to go after him, it would involve one of the largest compensation packages for a manager in the sport.
Yep.
So what that means, I have no idea.
Pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There were some interesting names attached in terms of who could have been the interim. Obviously, Ryan Mason's name pops up anytime that there's an interim, and he no longer has a job after being let go with West Brom. Roy Keane was a name popped up, which was a very interesting one. But he said he's not interested in being an interim. If it was a full-time, there was that. The other one who piped up and said that he'd be interested to help out as an interim, Harry Redknapp. Harry Redknapp, who hasn't managed in years and years and years. But you know what? Last time the Spurs were in a relegation battle, he's the guy that stepped in.
Yeah.
So right now, we have to wait and see. Igor Tudor's first appearance is going to be in the North London Derby. So you know what? It's not going to be an easy one. But Arsenal, again, sputtering to the finish line. And
sputtered against Brentford.
Yeah, and it looks like, you know what, it's giving Man City every opportunity to catch up. So it's going to be another interesting finish to the season. Just when you thought it was done and dusted. You know, this league always surprises. But, Tottenham is now heading into their third manager of the season. This one being an interim, though. So we'll have to wait and see if he can at least save them.
Yeah, they're in a relegation battle.
This club needs saving. And it needs wholesale change right from the top. Is Lang the guy who should be your sporting director? I mean, you've already forced Paratici out.
Yep.
I don't know. Dire times.
Yeah, when you're in a relegation battle.
Yeah, and this is a club that should not be in a relegation battle. Also, there was a kind of a big interview with Ange Postecoglou. I don't know if you ever caught part of this, but he was talking about his time with Spurs and whatnot, and he flat out said Spurs are not a big club. And I think over the last 2 seasons, other than having world-class training facilities, you got to wonder maybe he's not. You know what? He's not wrong. Spurs have been in an identity crisis now for almost a decade, and they need to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, they got the world-class stadium, but not the world-class team.
No, they don't.
Yeah. So Roberto De Zerbi has left Marseille. He's got sacked. This comes after Marseille lost 5-0 to PSG at the Parc des Princes. This was coming for a while.
Yeah.
Apparently,
the infighting with players.
Like Cody last year.
Yep.
That Cody's back. Happy that De Zerbi's gone, and he probably will be back at Marseille next season. Apparently, he's lost the dressing room. Players have not been motivated, and apparently, people are saying it's like De Zerbi was like a fan coaching the team.
Yeah,
which is quite the claim.
Yeah,
and he was.
De Zerbi has also made it well known that he wants back into the Premier League.
Yep.
But he is. It sounds like he's going to take some time off. I don't. I think he's going to wait for that after World Cup merry-go-round of managers. Although one of those merry-go-rounds is done with Thomas Tuchel renewing his contract with England until 2028 or something like that. But it's kind of bringing up a little bit of shades of Fabio Capello in what they did with him, and then all of a sudden, everyone stopped performing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with England.
Yeah, and De Zerbi, it looks like he's taking some time off. There's reports that he is not interested in the Tottenham job.
Yeah.
If Lieber Senior gets sacked in 6 months, Bidon Bali will definitely call him. Because Bidon Bali loves Brighton, so much.
The one who lost his job is Sean Dyche with Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest has now, as of an hour ago, appointed Vitor Pereira as their fourth manager of the season, which I believe is a Premier League record.
Has to be.
Yeah. I believe he's only on an interim basis.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Forest has just been a gong show all season, especially with that owner.
They have an erratic owner. They have an owner that, don't get me wrong, cares. He cares almost too much because he can't let his emotion, or he lets his emotion get in the way of any sort of logical thought.
He lets his ego get in the way. As I said earlier, the owner needs to shut up. And apparently, Sean Dyche's training sessions were way too intense. Like, too much emphasis on running and physical stuff. And some players felt tired during matches, reports Mail Sport. Daily Mail.
I mean, you're an athlete.
Yeah, but this reminds me of Pochettino's Chelsea days where they had too much running the day before.
Yeah. I don't know. Whenever I hear athletes talk about too much running or too much stuff or anything like that, I always think about Jaromir Jagr when he came back to the NHL, and they had just done training sessions and whatnot, and he was rooming with two of the younger guys on the team at the time, and they come back to the room and they see Jagr with a vest, and he's putting weights inside the vest, and they're asking, and they just come back from a skate session. They're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm gonna go for a run."
Yeah.
And this guy's like in his 40s at the time. They're like, I'm 19, you're 20. What are we doing here, right? Like, you know what? At some point, if you want to be an elite athlete, start acting like it.
Yeah, true. Forest has only lost one of their last 6 league games.
Yeah.
So timing's kind of odd.
There's a lot of people that are wondering about this. They're wondering, really, should Sean Dyche have been on the hot seat and lost his job? I mean, the one thing is yes, they've done that, but they're still only sitting in 17th, only 3 points off the job. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a tough
one. Yeah, but fourth, just 3 points above the relegation zone. A lot of draws recently.
Yeah.
So, it just I thought they'd give him till the end of the season.
I mean, honestly, the only team that's really done well over the past little while is with Michael Carrick joining United.
Almost won 5 in a row, but that fan won't cut his hair anytime soon, looks like.
No, I love that. And I love how initially the players and whatnot, like they were all a part of it. Now they want nothing to do with it. Like they're so tired of having to answer questions about this fan and his hair, but it's so funny.
Yeah, I feel for the guy a little bit. Maybe on a lice, he probably is attracted.
Do you know how much money this guy has made on endorsements already? I was reading an article on BBC about this guy. Like he has an agent. It started off as a lark, and now like this guy's turned it into a business.
Yeah,
only
maybe
he's
kind of happy that he gets more TikTok revenue.
Yeah, only in the social media age, right?
Yeah. Both United and Chelsea have won 4 out of their last 5.
Yeah.
Under new managers.
Yeah.
And anyway, that'll conclude this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we're doing wrong. I'm on Twitter, Joshua00, Nathan and Derek, podcast at Terminal City FC. We're also on Blue Sky, Instagram, and YouTube. Subscribe to our channel and all that. More of an in-depth Whitecap season preview next week after the Champions Cup game.
Yep.
I'll write also an article, hopefully earlier next week, previewing the season. It's kind of odd, though. We've talked so much about the Whitecaps, less about football.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of mirrors a little bit of the uncertainty of last year, but I have a feeling that the fact that this BC play stale is only 1 year, we're going to be doing the same thing next year too.
Yeah. Also, check out all our writings for the Air Fluid Sports Network. Check out all the other coverage we have the junior hockey, lacrosse, even the Olympics. And we'll be back next week talking all things soccer, and hopefully I'll sound much better by then. So that concludes this week's episode. Peace out.
Take care.